Hey everyone, welcome back to the Going Zero Waste YouTube channel. I'm Kathryn Kellogg, and today I want to chat with you all about ways you can start the sustainability conversation. Global warming, climate change, climate breakdown, whatever we want to call it, one of the best things that we can do is to simply talk about it. I'm going to link to a TED Talk by one of my favorite and personal environmental heroes, Kathryn. I love her. I love her point of view. I love how she talks about climate change. I love how she encourages other people to start that conversation, because if we really want to get awareness and we want people to act on this, it's conversations that we're going to have. And a lot of these conversations are going to be fairly difficult and hard to have because many people assume that when you're talking about your sustainable lifestyle choices, that you're personally attacking their choices. And I'm sure that's not what you're doing at all, but I'm gonna give you a few tips and tricks and ways that you can maybe frame the conversation a little bit better to make sure that you're coming off in a more positive manner, in a manner that people will be more receptive towards and really be interested in what you're saying. So I'm from Arkansas, obviously not the most progressive, green, eco-friendly state in America, and I have a lot of family who aren't super progressive either, and we have very differing political views. And it has been a challenge speaking with them at times, but it's been really great to see how it has evolved over the last several years and how a lot of their views have shifted simply by me not nagging them, not yelling at them, screaming at them, or trying to force my point of view on them, but simply allowing my lifestyle and my values organically integrate into their lives. One of the best things that you can have is patience. It's going to take a long time, especially with people who might not be super open and receptive to hearing what you have to say. And I think there's definitely a scale, right? There are people who are very adamant about, no, they will never do this, they will never participate in this. And for those people, I think it is best if you direct your energy towards a little bit warmer of an audience that's a little bit more open and a little bit more receptive. And I've personally found the absolute best way is to simply just live my life. Live my life true to my values. That's my first tip, is to act. Be who you want to be. Live your values, but do it in a really kind way. And I don't particularly like to open up conversations with people. I don't like to be the conversation initiator. Instead, I like for my actions to be the conversation initiator. I can't tell you how many times I have gone out and I have done something and someone has asked me a question about that or asked me why I'm doing something that way. And that's such an organic way to facilitate that conversation. If someone is asking you, then you can tell them. And I found that another really easy tip is to take the pressure off of the selfless and put it more on the selfish. So whenever you phrase something, you're not doing it for the environment or for the animals. You're doing it for yourself. And when you can make it selfish, people really want to know more because they're going to be really interested. If you say like, oh, I started eating plant-based and my health has improved so much, it's amazing, and you go on and on and on, people are way more likely to want to do what you're telling them because it's going to improve their lives. And even though you might be doing it for the animals and you might be doing it for the environment, I think that most people will come around to seeing that ideology later. But the number one thing that's going to hook them is knowing what's in it for them. How can they benefit from these switches that you're recommending? Humans are inherently selfish, right? We want to know what's in it for us. What can I achieve? How can this make me better? And if you can sell someone on that idea, then most of your job is done for you. My second tip is to really connect with people. People connect with stories. A lot of people don't really connect with facts until after they've already bought into the story. So how can you tell the story? How can you share your personal connection? And going back to the personal benefit and showing through the story how their lives can improve is one of the best ways I think that you'll be able to make connections with your loved ones and with strangers. And the last thing is just to invite people. Invite people to join you, whether that's you're throwing a dinner party and you want to invite your friends and family and you cook this fabulous plant-based feast and everyone can enjoy it. When they're really enjoying it, you can be like, yeah, I'd love to share the recipes with you. You can give them the recipes, you're inviting them in. Take someone grocery shopping. Show them how easy it is. And if you have a few spare produce bags, share them with them. Show them that when you buy things from the deli, you know, if you're getting olives or what are those really good peppers, like they make, the deli just makes these best peppers. You know, if you're going there, show them that you can buy them in your own jar and how they last so much longer than one of those plastic tubs. You can talk about the health benefits of using glass versus plastic. And when you're going grocery shopping, all of these conversations will naturally happen. It just takes you inviting them along. And I don't think you need to do it under the guise of like, oh, I'm going to secretly indoctrinate them. It's just, hey, I'm going grocery shopping. You want to come with me? And just because it's simply the way that you do it, going back to the first point, acting on your values, just because it's the way that you do it, they'll naturally kind of fall into step and be a little curious. And I think lastly, patience is like the most important thing. When I first told my husband, my boyfriend at the time, that I wanted to go zero waste, he wasn't the most supportive. He actually told me, I thought I was finally dating a normal girl. We all know I'm not super normal, so but yeah, it was hard. And we got into some fights in the beginning because we saw the world in very, very different ways. But I was very adamant about the fact that this was my choice and no one else's choice. It wasn't his choice, so I wasn't going to force it on him. It was only my choice, and it was only something that I could do and that I was going to participate in. And if he felt like joining me, great. And if he didn't, then that was fine too. And it took about a year for him to come around, but now he lives almost a completely zero waste lifestyle. And I think that's absolutely amazing. I think over time he's like, wow, this really makes sense. And this isn't super inconvenient. And these small changes I can make do have an impact. And if you continue to stand up and live your values, I think that other people around you will start to take notice. And you're showing them by example every day that it's really not as hard as they think. I really hope that you enjoyed this video. Please give it a thumbs up. Press that big red subscribe button to be notified when new videos are coming out. And I'll see you next week with a new video.